The United States of America began when moral, God-fearing men realized and acted on the realization that legislation put forth by Parliament and King George III was not, in fact, legal. The Stamp Act, the Townshend Acts, the Intolerable Acts, and other measures did not meet the standard required to make them lawful. Now, because of this, the authors of our Declaration of Independence labeled these measures as pretended legislation. Our colonial legislatures then interposed on behalf of our people by declaring that these measures were null, void, and constituted no law. This despite the fact that other levels or branches of government had declared them to be valid. Now let's fast forward to today and to what's happening in our country and our states and our counties. We are well aware that the national government in Washington, D.C. and the various state governments have declared certain measures to be valid when they are not. Examples in my state of Maryland include infringements on the right of self-defense, attempts to redefine the God-ordained institution of marriage, and the abuse of our children through an indoctrination program known as Common Core. In my home state, they have even imposed a tax on the evaporation cycle, otherwise known as the rain tax. Now, we also know that there are strong forces and special interests, both in and out of government, which seek to coerce our county councils and our town and city boards and commissions to go along with these acts of pretended legislation. Our local councils and boards must not do so. The county council, for example, must not rubber stamp the violation of its people's rights and liberties and the theft of their property. Instead, we need local officials like the sheriff and the police and the county council and our local judges to interpose on behalf of their constituents against those who would usurp their rights. We must not elect local officials who will rubber stamp the actions of any other officials who disparage our rights and our liberties. We need local authorities who will resist things like the rain tax and the imposition of Common Core and infringements on your right of self-defense and the defense of your loved ones. And we should never vote to re-elect anyone who has demonstrated his antipathy for lawfulness by voting in any way to validate what is known as same-sex marriage. We need local officials who will not rubber stamp the lawlessness of pretended legislation. This is Michael Anthony Peroutka for Institute on the Constitution, bringing you the American View.